The S-series instruments utilize Covaris's patented adaptive focused acoustics technology. These single sample systems are designed for the rapid disruption, extraction, or dissolution of various biological and chemical samples. The samples are placed in a closed vessel and then processed in a non-contact manner, thereby eliminating cross-contamination between subsequent samples. Computer control of the method ensures consistent, reproducible results sample to sample. The following presentation will introduce you to each S-series component, show you how to set them up together in your lab, and provide a high-level overview of operation. At any time, use the controls below to pause, continue the demo, or skip ahead. To begin, check that you have received all of the components required to assemble a system. The S2 instrument with hoses and cables, water tank for the S2, the laptop computer, S2 kit with tube holder and tubes, instruction manual and CD with SonoLab software, chiller supplied by user. Because any chiller will generate heat and some noise, it's best to place it on the floor. If this is not possible, place it at least 2 feet away from the instrument. Slide the ends of the hoses over the inlet and outlet nozzles at the rear of the chiller, and tighten the hose clamps with a screwdriver. Fill the chiller tank with deionized or distilled water to the proper level. Next, place the S2 instrument on a bench and attach the ends of the hoses with the quick connectors to the connectors at the rear of the instrument. Note that the hoses can go into either connector. However, make certain the metal release tab is in the down position. If the tab is up, the connector will not seat properly. The connector on the hoses should easily plug into the connector on the S2. You'll hear a click when the connection is properly made. Check that there are no kinks in the hoses, and then turn on the chiller and check for leaks. Next, connect the computer to the instrument using the USB cable, wide end to the computer, square end to the S2. Plug in the power cord at the back of the instrument and turn the S2 on. The switch will light. Now plug the AC adapter into the laptop and start the computer. The software is already loaded on the laptop. If you are supplying your own computer, see the instructions in Appendix B of the user manual. Make sure that the S2 instrument is turned on first, and then the computer. To complete the installation, rinse the water tank with distilled or deionized water. This is the only type of water that should be used with the system. Fill the tank to the water line marked on the front, and position the tank under the acoustic assembly. Lower slowly to avoid splashing. The S instrument can accommodate a wide range of sample tubes, each with its own tube holder. To switch from one tube to another, simply remove the old tube holder and replace with the new holder. Your Covaris S2 instrument is now ready to run. On the desktop of the computer, you will see 2 Covaris icons, a SonoLab icon and a PDF SonoLab user manual. Start the S-series software by double-clicking on the SonoLab icon on your computer screen. The main panel for operation will appear on the screen. The interface is easy to use and allows you to open an existing method, configure a new method, start running a method, degas the water. Never attempt to run a method without water in the water bath. The quality of the water in the water bath is extremely important for consistent and efficient operation of the S. Only fresh, deionized, or distilled water should be used, and the water tank should be emptied daily. The water in the tank needs to be degassed for 30 minutes prior to running a method. The degassing pump is controlled by the on-off button on the screen. The indicator next to the degas buttons turns green, and a stream of small bubbles can be seen in the water bath. The degassing pump should be left on while the instrument is in use. The general operating controls are located down the side. For example, Open selects a previously saved method. The current water bath temperature is displayed in the lower left corner. To create your own method, select Configure. Clicking on Configure opens the configuration panel where specific treatment parameters are selected. Here is where you can create, modify, or save a method. Click on the mode name to select Frequency Sweeping or Power Tracking. Frequency Sweeping is the default mode. Refer to the manual for information on selecting the appropriate mode. Now, on to the treatment panels. The 4 operating parameters for each treatment are duty cycle, intensity, cycles per burst, and time. Up to 4 different treatments can be grouped together in a single method. Duty cycle is the percentage of time the transducer is generating acoustic waves. The values for all the acoustic parameters can be changed using the sliding bar next to the scale. Intensity is the amplitude of the pressure waves generated by the acoustic transducer. Cycles per burst is the number of waveforms generated by the transducer during an on period. Time is the length of time in seconds a treatment will run. The maximum is 60 seconds. For more time, additional treatments can be added and/or the number of cycles can be increased. The cycle number is how many times the programmed treatments will be repeated during the running of a method. Bath temperature limit sets the maximum temperature for the water bath. If this temperature is reached during a method, the instrument will stop. The return button returns to the main panel and does not save a method. Lift the cover and load in the sample tube. You are now ready to run a method. After selecting Start, a checklist dialog box opens to remind the operator of some key points for the successful operation. Next, select Start. Stop stops the method at any time, and Exit shuts down the Sonolab single program. The Covaris S-2 uses focused acoustic shock waves to provide rapid and precise sample preparation for your biological and chemical applications. The method is safe, it is non-contact, so there is no cross-contamination, cost-effective, the higher precision gives accurate results with fewer repeats, versatile, it can be used for disruption, dissolution, and extraction. This concludes the product overview of the Covaris S-2. For more information about Covaris instruments and their applications, go to www.covarisinc.com.